everyone. Welcome to the Ask Dr. Be Good podcast, where we bring you some of the very positive things that are happening in public education today. We are, again, lucky this week to have scholars with us to talk about some of the ways that they're taking part in really what's 21st century education. They are taking college during their high school years. And we have kids in this room who have started their college career in 9th grade. That's how early one can now start college, if you're ready. So let's not, I won't use any more valuable time. I want you all to do that. And so let's go around the room, introduce yourself, tell me your name and your grade and how many hours of dual credit you have.
My name is Kelsey Guzman. I'm a junior, and I only had 9 hours of dual credit.
You mean you've already had?
Or already have.
So in what grade are you?
In junior, I'm at 11th.
All right. And you started in?
9th grade.
9th grade. That's phenomenal.
My name is Kayla Brown Champion. I'm in 12th grade, and I have 45 hours in college credit.
You're allowed to say that again. How many hours do you have?
45.
All right. Ms. Forge? We'll go around the room. Go ahead.
I'm Natasha Forge, the College and Career Counselor for Legacy Preparatory Mesquite and Plano campus.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm LaShawn Walker. I'm in 11th grade and I have 9 hours of dual credit.
And did you start in?
I started in 9th grade.
Excellent.
My name is Mason Chambers. I'm a junior and I have 6 hours of college hours.
All right.
And I started in 10th grade.
Okay, thank you.
I'm Betty Champion, and I'm a parent of one of the scholars here.
And I am so happy to have you here. We're going to hopefully have enough time to spend just a minute talking about the parent piece, because we're finding now as we go into this, we're in like our 3rd year, 4th year of doing this, that we can't just think about the child. We have to think about the impact that dual credit has on the family. And so a lot of things to talk about in short time, so let's get started. Ms. Forge, would you talk a little bit about the law that gave us the opportunity to offer this to our scholars?
Sure. During the Texas 83rd legislative session, the House Bill 5 was passed. When it was passed, it basically stated that students are able to, starting in 9th grade, to begin the dual credit program in which they are able to receive high school credit as well as college credit for the courses that they're taking on the high school campus.
Okay, so we in the past have had early college high schools, but they had to apply and get accepted, and then they were segregated in a different location. It was not part of a regular school. This law gave us the right to offer it to any kids in our high schools that what? How do they qualify?
Basically, what we say is they have to be TSI ready, and TSI means Texas Success Initiative, meaning that there's 3 components of the test in which they'll take. They have reading, writing, and math. And even though some students may not be as strong in math as they are in reading and writing, therefore they can still take courses such as English, they can take sociology, psychology, and if they're stronger in math and not in English, they can take math courses such as college algebra and plain trigonometry. So it basically reaches the whole child. There are some courses that we also are able to offer, such as Spanish. So if students come in and they have already taken Spanish 1, in which our students take Spanish 1 in 8th grade, so their 9th grade year, they're able to take beginning Spanish with the college. And so that's how we're able to start beginning to allow students to take those college credits at an early grade level, such as 9th.
Thank you. So can you tell us how are we working with our colleges? I mean, this is not AP where a child takes a rigorous course and then they take a test, and if they get a high enough score and you know, they might be able to get the credit. This is a real course from a college, and if they pass it, they get the credit. So can you talk a little bit about our relationship with the colleges?
Yes, so we are affiliated with 3 colleges. We have College College in Plano, and then we work with El Centro as well as Eastfield with DCCCD. And so with those colleges, what we do is we have what we call an MOU. It's a contract between us and the college. We look at our TEKs and we make sure that our TEKs match what the college courses, what they entail. So once they match, we create a crosswalk, and that crosswalk determines the courses that we'll offer, as well as making sure that our students are receiving what they need for graduation requirements. And from there, the students, of course, based on their TSI results, are able to then decide which courses they want to take. And then we do create a pathway starting from 9th grade through high school. So there are certain courses that they can take each year, so that each year every student will have the opportunity to participate in the dual credit program.
So how does this dual credit work with our endorsements, with our chosen pathways?
Because of House Bill 5, they did also include the endorsements. So we do have Mr. Walker. He teaches our IT courses, in which now he's allowed to take, he teaches 4 classes for dual credit. So basically, in his classes, when students are enrolled, they enroll in his class, and we complete the paperwork, and the parents sign off for it to say that the students are allowed to take those dual credit classes, and then they receive, in that case, their dual credit for both classes. However, it's not just for the endorsements. We have core classes, and then this year we also started incorporating electives.
And one of the things that we're going to talk about more at a different show is our T-STEM initiative. And our T-STEM requirements require that the 9th grade cohort from last year graduate. I think 50% of the kids have to graduate with 15 hours of college, if I'm remembering correctly.
Well, with us being STEM, it is 85%. So 85% of our students, and that was one of the initiatives that's why we did begin to now start having those electives, because the students we want them to have 15 credit hours. However, one course has to be in reading and one has to be in math. So therefore, we pad it in the Spanish. We have the sociology. We are including art, and then eventually we'll add the PE as well.
So you can see that for us to be able to offer some of the specialized programming, it comes with severe requirements, which really puts the onus on the school to better prepare kids. So let me ask for some of the scholars here, how did you prepare for your TSI? Who can answer that? How did you prepare so that you could meet the TSI requirements? Yes, sir.
How I prepared for it, well, when I first found out about I could do it, well, I went over all the things that my teachers and that taught me. So algebra, I went over all the things he taught me, and I actually went over online and learned some more about it. So I did a lot of other stuff for reading. I went on all the other stuff I knew about it, so I can put that in a test.
I think we had offered it during rotations, is that correct, the TSI?
Mhm.
So during the rotation where your teachers are off planning their projects for you, one of the rotations was TSI, right?
Yeah.
Was it
Yes.
also pre-SAT, SAT?
PSAT.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're getting lots of college prep
Yeah.
during the rotation. Okay, that's good. Well, it's obviously working. So you want to?
I studied by directing Eastville in the dual credit section, the advisors directly asking what they have so I can study to pass.
You're a woman who took charge. Good for you. Have you shown anybody else how to do that?
So some of my friends, yes.
Good. We like that take chargeness. And matter of fact, this maybe is a good time to showcase you a little bit, because you have taken charge of your college education. Tell us some of the things that you've done to get to that 45 hours plus, because you're doing a couple more courses before you graduate this year.
Well, when I first started doing dual credit, I was kind of scared because I wasn't sure if I was going to pass the classes, because I thought, oh, I'm in high school, I'm taking college. It's a big step, it's a big jump. So I thought, oh, I'm not going to make it. But I tried throughout the year. I passed the classes. And I said, oh, I can do this again during the summer by myself on my own. So I went and I took the classes and I tried. I stayed up some late nights, but I did it.
And so you are close to how many hours close to your associates?
I have 15 hours left.
So, and by the end of this year, you'll have how many left? We think.
I have 15 hours left, but I have 45 now.
So, and you're taking 2 more courses, though.
Yes.
So you're very close. Do we have any idea, Ms. Forge, how much money her parents are saving by having her do this?
Majority of Kayla's dual credit has been paid through the campus, through the school, since she has decided that she was going to go ahead and get her associate's degree. Overall, the courses that they would normally take will roughly be about $2,000. So I would say that her parents are probably saving roughly like about $1,700.
Well, for the whole 45 hours? I thought it might be more than that. Because each course costs how much? $177. So let's just do some math here. Times, how many courses is that? 30 courses. So
Okay.
so that's $5,300. Now I know that she took courses during the summer, so let's have Ms. Champions talk a little bit about that decision. How did you feel about that decision for her to take courses?
Well, when Kayla came to her dad and I and said that she wanted to take more, we were saying, okay, is the school going to pay for it? And she said no. And so we said, okay, and we always tell Kayla, if this is what you want to do, you have to pass it. You have to do well with it. And she said that I am, and she said, it's just a summer, and I don't have anything else. I don't have any other classes. I'm going to be able to do it. And she went forward, and she did it. And she decided she didn't want to, we were trying to go on a quick trip. She didn't want to. She said, I need to finish this, because she really wants to work toward her associate, to get her associate when she graduates. And then with some of the classes, some of them were $230 a class, and plus the books. So we are saving a lot of money by her taking dual credit classes, because I think we paid probably close to $2,000 with the books and the classes we paid for. But we are saving, and that was just for 3 classes. So we are saving a whole lot of money
By doing the
Yes.
rest during the school year.
Mhm.
Right. So I think it shows a lot of initiative. You might even beat me, because I graduated when I was 17 after 11th grade, and I finished college when I was 20. You might end up beating me. Not many can say that. Good for you. What plans you have for yourself?
It's kind of a little not clear yet, but I want to go in nutrition. So after high school, I want to go to a university and go in nutrition, and hopefully I graduate by maybe 2 years and move on up to wherever I go.
All right. I'm sure you'll do it successfully. All right. So why don't you, Kelsey, talk a little bit about your dual credit experience and where you want it to take you?
I haven't really thought about it, about where it could take me. So far, it's been really easy. It's just, you're just basically going through the classes, going through the assignments, making sure you get, good grades. That's really about it. I'm just trying to work through
Just a hardworking student,
yeah.
huh? Good for you. Well, it's going to be time pretty soon to start thinking about
Yeah.
what to do after you leave us. And one of the things that you may not know is that we have to track you guys.
Yeah.
One of the things that is a new law is that we have to keep track of you for the next 2 years after you graduate. And so what we hope to report is that you've gone on to college, you stayed in college or military career or post-secondary vocational, but we have to track you by law with the hope that we can show that our program led you to a successful college or military or vocational opportunity. So get used to seeing us around. So Mason, we had talked about you had the experience of actually being in a dual credit project, which is a little bit hard, it's hard to be able to take a curriculum from a college and make it into an engaging project, but Mr. Walker was able to do that. Can you
Mr.
talk?
Walker is a very fantastical teacher. He especially knew what he was doing during this project. It was about how technology could be influenced for the future and how it's, advancing, how quickly it's advancing. And he would grade us on our daily work, but when we had to type up our essays, we had to send it to El Centro with our DCC CED of ID, and then we had to send it to them, and they had to grade it for us, and whatever grade the professor gave on that essay, they would send it back to Mr. Walker, and he'd incorporate that into our final grade.
So the college is grading your papers. I mean, Mr. Walker, even though he's the adjunct, because he actually is a part-time professor for El Centro, while he works for us, which is, really fantastic. And we have other teachers who are starting to do that as well. He gets a stipend from the college, and he gets paid from Legacy, so it's a win-win. But being able to bring that a college class alive like that, that's a special gift.
The work was, the work that led up to it was very invigorating. It was very, hands-on. I remember he even let us, we got to play with cables, HDMI cables, and all. I get to look at the wires inside of it.
Are you an IT guy? You got to play with the cables.
But I mean, it was really, hands-on and cooperative and just all that fun stuff. So it all worked hand in hand. It was really good. And the way he's able to mesh it into, the teaks and everything, it's really good.
And the
Yeah.
teaks being the state standards.
He makes it really easy, Mr. Walker. So it's not too much pressure on the kids when they're taking dual credit.
He helped us build what was the cables? It was like we was talking about talking about firewall and all the other stuff, and he helped us build the servers and the cords together and stuff like that.
So did you, when you first came to Legacy, did you think you'd end up with college hours?
No.
I'm gonna tell you something. I didn't think that. When I started Legacy back, the first board meeting was 7 years ago next month. Early college was not part of the plan because the law had not changed, and we didn't know that the law was going to change. And for us to be able to offer these opportunities to you, it makes our job even better. Makes it a little bit harder. I will say we have to have a specialized counselor for you. We have to have relationships with the college that we have to, do we have to renew those every year? We do. Yep. Every year we have to, it's an MOU, Memorandum of Understanding. And we have to figure out how we're going to make the dual credit engaging for you and yet still college level, so that we're still preparing you for the next college, university level, for example. You mentioned that. And at the same time, hoping that we're changing your understanding of yourself, that you're not a kid, you're not a high school kid, you're a college kid. So do any of your teachers ever talk about college readiness behavior?
Mr. Walker.
Mr.
Walker.
Walker.
He's our man, huh?
Yeah.
I think we need to get more teachers making sure that they are talking about what college readiness behavior looks like. 'Cause
And Mr. A.
Mr. Abreu.
Oh,
he
yeah,
does
Mr.
Mr.
A.
A too.
Mr. A and Mr.
Yeah.
Walker, them the two teachers. That's
He's-
how they
he-
really talk about everything. And he gives us in the
Gotta be
morning.
responsible.
Very, yeah.
In the morning he gives us talks about colleges and
Life
stuff.
lessons.
He
Life
actually
lessons,
does
yeah,
the
that's what
restorative
him and Mr.
circles
Walker.
that are set. He actually does those.
good.
Takes a lot of time.
Well, are they worth it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
To me, what I see is the effort that these gentlemen are doing are leading you all to maybe mature a little bit faster than you might have otherwise. I hope that your college experience in high school maybe is making you think twice about joining your friends and doing some immature stuff. You don't want to mess up that college pathway that you have. How many of you know about the dangers of putting yourself, portraying yourself poorly on social media? And,
It can go a long way, yeah.
there are colleges who turn students down.
Yeah.
I've seen students, not at Legacy, because we've only had one graduating class, but I've heard of other kids who were offered full ride scholarship until the college looked at the social media page, saw that the child was a little bit of a wild child, and rescinded the scholarship. So that's something to really, I don't think with you is going to be a problem. I mean, you guys are pretty steady, but help your friends with that. You can lose your college scholarship if you portray yourself as a, probably wild child is a good term. So, let me see, I have another question here. How many of you are talking to your parents about college actively at home?
Me.
Yeah, I am.
Okay, let's go here.
I talk to her all the time about it because, you know, as a parent, they worry. So.
And what do they worry about?
They just like ask like if you have your stuff planned out. If are you sure you want the career? What are you doing? That's gonna help you, I guess. Through the whole experience.
Okay.
Similar to Kelsey, my parents want to make sure that whatever career I'm going into, it will financially secure me in life and help me go forward in life. So,
And they're really smart to think that, because when parents let their kids take what we call a hobby degree, a degree in Spanish or art, those aren't always leading to what do they call that, life wages? They're not. I mean, it's a degree, but it's not going to pay the bills. And so they're very smart to be helping you think in that way. Matter of fact, I always told my kids, you can get the career degree with me, and then you can get your hobby degree when you're when you're on your own. So how about yourself?
Well, I've been thinking about I've been talking to my parents about college since I was like in 6th grade. So I've been thinking about college for a long time.
And in what context? Like where you want to go, what do you want to do?
The college I wanted to go to, but it's out of state. Ms. Forge told me I can do a program where I can go to that college out of state. I want to go to Full Sail University. It's a college where they do specialize in coding and gaming, making their own games and stuff, because I want to be a video game designer.
Okay.
Like my cousin is. He goes to that college. Me and my 3 cousins, we going to the same college. He goes there for graphic design. I want to go there for video gaming designing.
Okay, well, sounds like you know what you want to do. Fantastic. Mason?
Me and my parents, we talk all the time about just colleges in general. I've done all the searching. Like I've had to look up for all like this the tuitions and all the like places where they're at and located. I've used a couple of sites myself to look at it, try and get a feel out for it, like because it'll even tell you like where it's nationally ranked and stuff like that. And I've used these sites to help, gauge my, my understanding of like where I want to go and where I want to pursue, because I want to be in information technology. I want to be a information technology engineer, and it's where I get to look at the coding of the information in the technology of it, and then I get to like program the computers, the Wi-Fi, stuff like that, and get to look at it. And I've learned that like Stanford University is one that comes to mind. It's a very prestigious college, but it also has a really, really good technological course. And Mr. Walker, he's like giving us options like for jobs in technology, like to look at. He does it for our projects and all that. So it really helps that a lot, because you get to gauge where you want to go. You get a feel of what you want to do, and it just allows you to make your choices better.
Okay, wow. Nice. So one of the things that I like to tell parents is here's a couple of rules I did with my kids that saved a lot of money, but it really helped to set the tone of understanding. One was there's too many good state schools in Texas, so if you want to go out of state, you have to get a scholarship. That's number one. Number two, any class that you withdraw or fail, you pay for it yourself the second time. And it didn't happen often. They didn't go out of state. One went to UTD, and the other one to Lubbock, Texas Tech in Lubbock. Those are good, solid state schools. And I did not, I think 1 or 2 courses they had to pay for, but When you guys have to pay for your own things, you tend to not want to. So it only took 1 or 2 courses to learn that lesson. Well, okay, we're coming to the end, and so one of the things that we do here is we, in the Ask Dr. Be Good, get to ask me a question. So do you want to go around the room, or you want to volunteer? Does somebody know what they want to ask me? Okay, go ahead.
My question is, why did you want to do the podcast? Why did you start the podcast?
Because there's so much negative publicity out there about public education. I mean, you don't get to hear all the good things that are going on. We hear about all the things we're not doing right. It's usually told by people who are not near schools. I don't know if you've noticed that. Maybe the adults in the room have. Mm-hmm. But I wanted to combat that by bringing really positive things that are happening to kids to the public's attention. So that's why I did it. All right, who else?
I have a question. One of them is, are there going to be dual credit courses available in the summer? Because you know how some students take maybe English course or a science course in the summer to not take the course the next year. Is there going to be some college courses available?
I don't know. One of the things that the colleges haven't done is to allow us to have college for the summer that's paid for by them. Because when we say that Legacy pays for college, sometimes we do, but sometimes the colleges have a grant that pays for the courses. And so right now, unless Ms. Forge can tell me differently, there's no grant to pay for courses during the summer from the colleges. Is that right?
That's correct.
Yeah. So we're sort of held to the college availability as far as money's concerned. But I think, is it College College that we pay for the courses versus Eastfield and El Centro?
Yes, Eastfield and El Centro, we do receive a grant. All the students are on a scholarship. However, Legacy does pay for our books. And then for College, we do pay for both tuition and the textbooks. But one of the things that we are going to do to combat that is, of course, each year we're going to keep offering courses that are going to we'll have more courses available for students throughout the school year so that they can still work towards their associates without having to complete classes in the summer.
Yeah, we're still in development. We're still trying to figure this out, and so are the colleges. I will tell you that we as soon as that law changed, we went to the colleges, and Eastfield, matter of fact, said no. They needed another year. El Centro and UT Tyler and College worked with us, even though it was a brand new law. Nobody had really done it before. They worked with us, and they allowed us to start that college pathway with you guys 3 years ago, I think it was. So we've been very appreciative of the receptiveness of the colleges to start working and getting MOUs with us and getting college credit to our kids, even though there wasn't much thinking time around the process because it was so new. And so here we are 3 years later, developing it. Some kids, we haven't had to take kids to the college yet because we don't have transportation, but it may be over time that'll happen as well.
One of the things that we are doing now is we are allowing other teachers who have their master's degree to become adjunct professors. So therefore, like Mr. Abreu, he did get his he was approved, so therefore next semester we'll be able to offer chemistry to any of our students who are eligible to take chemistry, who've passed the TSI and able to take chemistry for the second semester. So we are still just going to continue to reach out to our teachers and inquire which ones would like that opportunity, so that therefore, as long as we have at least 15 students in the classroom, then the teacher will also be the adjunct professor.
Super. Mason, question?
Do you plan on partnering with any new colleges over the course of the next 5 years?
That's a good question. And Ms. Forge, I don't know. Is it mostly through our junior colleges that this happens? I know we did UT Tyler, but that was a special arrangement.
Correct. Right now it is because DCCD does offer the courses for up to an associate's degree. Then since we were already partnering with Eastfield and El Centro, we're receiving our endorsement classes as well as our core classes from them and an elective. So those are the two that we're more than likely going to continue our partnership with.
Okay.
All right, so you have a question for me, Ms. Champions?
Thank you. No, I don't have
Oh,
any.
come on. Be thinking one. Ms.
Yes,
Forge,
I
you
will.
have one?
Thinking about the dual credit program, I understand the benefits of it. However, some of the students have inquired, why don't we offer AB or IB courses for them? Would you please answer
Sure.
that question?
So the AP, one of the things that is happening as the dual credit world becomes stronger, the AP luster is sort of going down. In the AP world, you take an AP class and you have to follow a very certain curriculum, because then there's a very strong test at the end of that course. If you get a 3 or a 4 on it, a college might give you credit for it. We don't want, that's too many ifs along the way. And plus since we're a new tech school, we're a project school, it is much harder for a teacher to do a project around an AP course than it is a dual credit course. So those are two huge reasons why most new techs don't do AP. I think the only AP course we do is Spanish. But again, once we started hearing that many universities were not accepting even acceptable 3s and 4s, we said, why would we do that to our kids? Why not just have dual credit, and if they pass it, they get the credit. There's no ifs, there's no if the college wants. No, let's not do that. So we feel like the dual credit world is a much fairer opportunity for our students. So, and the IB program is a whole different, that's a traditional school strand. We have so much going on right now with our programs. You know, we are the only school in the nation to have the combination of programs that we have at our district. To have the dual credit with 3 languages in K6, and engineering is elementary in K5, and 100% PBL, and new tech, and you know, everybody has their device starting in 6th grade, and then a T-STEM on top of that, and our endorsements being health science and information technology and business when it makes. That is a lot to offer. And so and then with the dual credit on top of that, we need to not keep adding to our program, but get what we have, get it going really well. And so we have not added anything lately that I think this is our 3rd year of doing restored practice. It's our 3rd or 4th year of doing dual credit. And so we're really just trying to get better at what we already do. So, Ms. Champions, have you thought of a question for me?
Well, I was going to ask about the endorsement, understanding endorsement.
So you want to speak a little bit about what an endorsement is?
Yes. Basically, when we have the endorsement, it allows students to earn usually like a sequence of 4 classes within a kind of like a career path. So this year for our Plano campus, we did include business, and then last year we included business for our Mesquite campus. However, the 2 that are solid for Legacy at the moment are health science. And so there's 4 classes that the students will take to receive their endorsements, such as principles of health science, medical microbiology, and then their practicum. Whereas in the IT world, then they take principles of IT, they'll take telecommunications and or web technologies, they can take digital media, and then they'll take their practicum their senior year. So in both cases, the students, or the scholars, they'll take the practicum their senior year. But in the meantime, so what happens is we want the students to be college ready, and so in that aspect, that's when the students take kind of like a 4th science, 4th math, 4th social studies. But we also want them to be career ready, and that's the reason that we offer the endorsement in a sequence of at least 4 classes, so that even if they were to kind of step out in their career or go to college, then they'll have some background knowledge of the field in which they want to pursue.
And so that's why we have been offering certificates. Like we offer the medical coding, billing and coding certificate. I know that our valedictorian from last year is using that as a part-time job while she gets her full ride at Johns Hopkins. So that's exactly what our legislators meant to do, is to empower our students with career skills before they even leave high school, and to give them a taste of a career they might like or they might not. And so they found it out in high school instead of college. How many of you have known, and I'm speaking more to the adults in the room, how many of you have known adults who changed their mind in the middle of college, right? They ended up not liking what they were doing halfway through, and then they changed it, right? Well, it seems like we have come to the end of our podcast. I thank you all for being here, taking the time to drive over here. I hope you feel like we have showcased you enough. You do us proud, and we thank you. And for the seniors in the room, that graduation ceremony is right around the corner. It is. So thank you again for being here, for helping us show what positive things are going on in public education today. Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in to the Ask Dr. B. Good show. For information on Legacy Preparatory Charter Schools, visit our website, www.legacypca.com, or call 469-249-1099. And remember to like us on Facebook, where we stream live weekly Tuesdays at 3 p.m.